Yo, welcome back to the channel everyone, and today I'm going to be showing you how to beat no skill decks with our favorite deck, Balloon 2.9 Psycho. And at the time of this recording, we're currently number 112 in the world, and we got the Ultimate Champion on the third day of the season on stream, so if you guys ever see me streaming, make sure to tune in if you want to see cinema. Nothing is possible without your support, so I'm very grateful for everyone who is watching right now. And this video will hopefully show you a few things. One, how to play Loon Psycho in certain matchups, and two, how to deal with no-skill decks in general. And Balloon Psycho has very strong defense, so it's a great deck to suppress your opponents when they go for very skilled pushes. And I'll be showing you how you can control the game by getting great value from your musketeers and cheap cards on defense, and when to go in. So yeah, that's enough yapping. So make sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, let's hop into the first game. See you there. Alright, we're in the game against this guy. As you saw from his banner, he has quite a few great finishes, with a number 12 finish on ladder and a number 18 global tournament finish. And he got top 42 last season with this exact E-golem deck, which is absolutely insane, regardless of what you think about his deck. And he's the best E-golem player in my eyes, and he's playing this E-golem variation with the Curse, Zap, Curse Rage, Void, and Hero Wizard. Sometimes they have Evil Executioner instead of the Evil Wizard, but he has the Evil Wiz, which gives us a good matchup for sure. Even with Evil Executioner, it's a good matchup, but it's slightly worse in that case. But we still need to play very well, otherwise we're going to get squashed by a huge dual lane push. Generally against Void decks, you want to place your troops next to your bomb tower so the Void doesn't instantly wipe out the bomb tower, and kite things to the middle with High Miner, Skellies, and Ice Golem. And since your Musketeer is unkillable and the E-golem gives you Elixir after you push, it's generally a good idea to just try to take their tower after their E-golem dies, and of course it's even better if you have a counter-pushing Muskie. And a major piece of advice I have against no-skill decks in general is just to focus on your own gameplay, because if you get tilted by the nature of their deck or their playstyle, that's just going to affect your own gameplay and spiral out of control. And you want to lock in and teach them a lesson for using a no-skill deck. And here he goes in for his first E-golem push, but we did a good defense there by placing Bomb Tower, Musketeer underneath the Bomb Tower, and then using Ice Golem to clean everything up. And we maybe could have gone in here, but I figured that since he didn't have his tanks in Psycho, he would have to pull off kind of an awkward defense. And here I just decided to go in since I know he only has the Evil Wizard in Psycho, but as you can see, our elixir bar isn't looking the best. We're down like almost 9 elixir, but we can still defend. But unfortunately, we do make a little bit of a micro mistake that costs us a lot of damage. So he voids our bomb tower, and we do the ice golem middle just to kite everything. And luckily, that barbarian locks in and kills the wizard. But okay, let's rewind that slightly. I think this slight mistake might have actually cost us a lot of damage. I think if we waited until the bomb killed the E-golem blobs, that would have given us elixir faster, so we could have afforded our miner in time to block for the Skelly King. But unfortunately, we get it down in a little bit of an unfortunate position, and the Skelly King is splashing our tower, so we immediately take a lot of damage out of the gate. Probably that was not the best balloon push by us, but it's okay. We got good damage on his right side, and his left side tower is pretty close to falling as well. So, and he does a hilarious Ice Golem Loon prediction here with the Skeleton Army and hits us with the well played. So, well played to our opponent here. But we still get Death Bomb, and here I figured that I didn't really want to miner on the wizard, so I was like, okay, let's just miner on his tower since he's probably gonna Skeleton King in the back and just get back to Bar Barrel. But unfortunately, get the Bar Barrel down a little bit too late, and the wizard takes most of our tower. But since his wizard is out of Psycho, I just figured it'd be best to take his tower with a Naked Loon, since we had the Evil Musketeer for his wizard. And it's very important to use a small spell on the Skeleton Army in general, since there it was going in front. And let me rewind this actually. So it's a good idea to preset a bomb tower generally against E-golem decks, because, you know, it's kind of slow moving and all the troops will get kited into the middle. So if you're able to get back to another bomb tower, you can defend pretty easily. And the bomb tower bomb, death bomb, is actually very good to clean up the clean up the pushes. And his skeleton army is going in front there, which is kind of unlucky for him. But yeah, we just put everything in the middle, used a Barbaro to hit the Night Witch to splash, and we get back to another bomb tower to get the E-golem blobs. And unfortunately, he takes our tower there with the skeleton army, skeleton general skeletons, but he does a bad void on our musketeer, and he's down too much elixir. So we decide to just go in, and we are able to catch his wizard, Miner, and he has no air defense. So generally, I want to reiterate in this matchup that it's a good idea to... Okay, and we're giving him the Hero Knight backshot emotes. But generally, it's a good idea to just try to defend with bomb tower to middle, musketeer behind the bomb tower so the void can't get value, and kite troops to middle and just go in once you have something counter pushing or when you know that they're low on elixir. So yeah, that was a pretty good game up against the best E-golem player, and yeah, see you in the next match. Alright, we're in the next game, and we're up against a variation of Giant Graveyard, the archetype popularized by Jinxie. But oh man, where do I start with this deck? You know, this archetype is one of the most one-dimensional of all time. Only Giant Graveyard players thinks it takes skill. I'll just leave it at that. But we're up against Rod, a Giant Graveyard one-trick. His top finish was last season with a top 159 in the world finish, so a very good player. And I just want to clarify, just in case, that I'm not personally dissing any of the players featured in this video. I just don't think their decks are very high skilled. But anyways, he has the Cannoneer, which is very good against Balloon, but this variation he's playing is probably still better for us than the traditional with Evil Witch, since the Ice Wiz doesn't have as much DPS, and the Barbs don't really do that much for him in this matchup. And no Rang Rang, Pancakes. But yeah, in general, against Giant Graveyard, you want to defend well in single and try to get into a good offensive tempo in double, preferably with an Ice Golem, Loon, Miner supported by Evil Musk, and you can out-cycle their counters if they overcommit. But they will always have the Evil Snow bailout, so again, don't feel bad if you struggle in this matchup. It's at least a 70-30 for them, but you can outplay them sometimes, which I'll be showing you in this video. So yeah, you can go Skellies to bridge against Cannoneer because one of the Skellies will actually hit the tower. And we miner the tower just to see what he has, and he plays a bowler on it. And I believe he goes in for a very high-skilled play here. Yes, he giants the bridge, I believe, yes, but the funny thing is that he didn't even have Graveyard in hand. So if he Graveyarded here, in a different universe, we would have taken a lot of damage immediately. And this was pre-recorded, this was recorded pre-Hero Ice Golem, so you can probably tell, but we don't have the best defensive resources for Graveyard here. But yeah, that was a solid defense. We just get a Barbaro on the Barbarians, and yeah, very high-skilled gameplay from Rod here. And here I wasn't sure what he had, but he played an Ice Wiz on the Musketeer, so I was like, okay, he's definitely playing something a little bit different. And I wasn't sure what air counters he had, so I decided to just go Naked Loon to, feel out his deck, since he just played his Ice Wiz. But we had great timing here, since he decides to Psycho minions at the bridge. So now we've caught him in a very bad Psycho, and he wastes his arrows and his snowball. So we do a very good play here, actually. So we go for Miner and Skellies to bridge. So the reason why, it was a great decision from us because we knew he didn't have any spells, he just played them, and it forces out a bowler from him, which he can't support. His elixir bar is not looking the best right now. So I think maybe here I could have just Barbaroed and gone in, but we decided to Psycho to the Evil Muskie, and he still has to defend it. So I think both were probably okay, but yeah, I kind of like the decision I ended up going with in this game. And he Barbarians the bridge, very high skilled, so we have to get a bomb tower on it. And even though one Barbarian is traveling to our tower, we decide to just ignore it and go in. And here I thought that he would try to tower trade with us because, I mean, it's difficult for him to defend, but I guess since we had a surviving bomb tower, he thought it wouldn't be a good idea, so he just tried to defend. And to his credit, he does with the Snowball Ice Whiz arrows. But we're able to get an Evil Musk on the Ice Whiz, and look at our hand. We're already back to another Ice Golem Loon, so we can go in again. But I think here he does a very good Barbs to Bridge, actually predicting our Ice Golem, so well played to him. But we're able to get a Snowball on the minions, and the balloon is traveling to the tower, so he has to waste his Evil Snowball. And again, look at our hand. We're already back to balloon miner here, so we just decide to go in, and his minions are not in cycle yet. And here we knew he would minions on the balloon late, so we did a prediction snowball. The cannoneer does not kill the balloon, and we get a very, very nice win. So yeah, that was a really great example of how to keep up the pressure. He couldn't go in for a single graveyard that game, and yeah, that was just a really solid gameplay against a brain-dead deck. So that was a nice game, and yeah, we'll see you in the next match. Alright, we're in the next game up against this guy, and we played this game on stream, by the way, and we're up against a very strange graveyard deck. You know, it feels like most of the meta decks are no skill now, especially Hyper Bait and Giant, but you know, no skill comes in all different forms, and his deck has a bunch of no skill cards, namely the Evil Infernal Dragon, the Evil Skeleton Army, and the Zappies, and they're all mashed together into a very odd hard counter. And against decks like these with a lot of counters, I have a few bits of advice that I'll be going through throughout the game. The first important thing is that when you're not sure what they're playing, it's important to try to, one, keep your cycle clean to keep up with their pressure, and two, be able to feel out their deck slowly. So yeah, here he wasn't playing anything, I believe, so after the Ice Golem walks up, we just go Miner on the tower. And yeah, here it's looking like, I'm not really sure what deck he has. At this point, he's only shown a few cards, so that's not enough information. But here he does a very no-skill play here. He naked graveyards when nothing's even crossed the bridge and just poisons on my Musketeer. But I guess he knows that he can get away with it because, you know, the poison does kill my Musketeer. And yeah, then he goes Skeleton Army at the bridge. Another brainless play because I had another small spell in cycle there. And here I was thinking, okay, we need to punish him for this. And, you know, usually against Graveyard, you'd want to go opposite lane, but since I figured that he was definitely down Elixir after that, and, you know, he just played a naked Graveyard, Poison, Skeleton Army the bridge for no reason. So I was like, okay, since his left side tower is a little bit weaker, maybe we can win the game here, but he gets bailed out completely by Tombstone and Zappies, and here I was already not feeling that good, because I was like, okay, Evil Inferno, Zappies, cheap building, it's not going to be very good. But you know, his cycle is slower than ours, so we can actually outcycle him later on in the game, which you guys will, well, no spoilers, but you'll see. And, well, I guess we're already back to Balloon, so we can go in here, and we're back to Miner already, so we just Miner in the back, or Miner to the side there. And that was a good poison and a really bad tombstone by him, but again he gets bailed out by the Zappies. And yeah, that's not even a connection, but we did manage to clean up the Zappies, and we're back to another balloon, so we can just keep going in. And it's very important to try to grab the offensive tempo like this, especially when your opponent has or overcommits like 2 or more of their counters on one balloon push, because by then will have already outcycled them. But you know, that maybe was not the best by us because he has the Evil Skeleton Army, so now we have to defend a pretty scary looking push. But fortunately the Skeleton Army General goes in front and our Barbarian locks in. So generally against Graveyard, especially if it's a naked Graveyard, Miner is generally pretty decent to defend the Graveyard because his hit speed is pretty good. And since you'd usually want to place it in the corners like this, since the Ice Golem and well, one, the Ice Golem will tank for some of the skellies, and the Miner will clean up some of the skeletons spawning from the side. These aren't necessarily the optimal placements. I don't think they are. In case you want to watch the optimal defense setups, I'd recommend you'd watch Fan's videos that he posted about Graveyard, and I'll link those in the description below. But yeah, this should give you a rough idea on how to defend Graveyard, because the RNG can really screw you over in this matchup because we don't have good air defense. This is pre-Hero Ice Golem, by the way. So once Hero Ice Golem comes out, there will be a video showing all the new tech. And this is tip number 2, actually. You can out-cycle their counters, even if they have a lot of them. So in some matchups like this one and against Rascal's Bait, for example, it's not a bad idea to loon the back just to sacrifice it and use your Musketeer to clean up their defense and then go in once they've overcommitted on offense. And here he played the Evil Inferno Dragon and used the Skeleton Army to block it. But we do a very nice Snowball plus Evil Musketeer push onto the Dragon, and the Evil Inferno Dragon does actually survive the 3 power shots from the Evil Musketeer, but plus a Snowball will kill it. And I want us to watch this beautiful sequence back, actually. So we loon the back, and he plays this Evil Inferno Dragon. We cycle back for an Ice Golem to get in front of our balloon, and we Snowball, play our Musketeer all the way onto the side. And he played the Tombstone, the Evil Inferno Dragon, and the Zappy, so we know he has 0 air cards in hand right now, so we can just go all in. And yeah, he's in big trouble right now. He can get an Inferno Dragon down, but it's going to be late, and we can get a nice Snowball on that, and it gets us 2 hits. So here's looking quite decent, but we still need to defend, unfortunately. And here I knew he was going to Graveyard, so I blocked the bridge. And again, Miner plus Skellies, pretty good to clean up a Graveyard, especially if there's nothing tanking for it. And as you can see, our opponent is doing some very high skill plays, but that's not gonna work. And here I figured that we could probably just go for Miner Snowball, but maybe that was not the best from us. We get a little bit of damage, but here we have another push we need to deal with. And this bomb tower here is a little bit better than placing it in the usual middle position, especially if they have troops bearing down with a Graveyard. And we're able to pre-skellies to predict that he would go Graveyard, so the skeletons don't die as easily, but unfortunately he gets a poison. But we get a Miner down again, and we just go in. Maybe that was not the best push by us, but again, the balloon forcing out all his counters, so they go in front of the Graveyard, and the bomb there is actually able to kill everything. And here we just block the bridge again. The one weakness of his deck, I feel, is that he doesn't really have strong cards that can cross the bridge too easily, apart from, the classic Barbarian Barrow, and yeah. And that was a very nice win against a hard counter. We beat him so hard that we made it look like our matchup, but definitely not easy at all. And yeah, I hope that game taught you guys something, and yeah, we'll see you in the next match. Alright, we're in the last game of the video, and we're up against this guy. According to his profile, he has a top 382 finish in the world, which, yeah, that means he's quite a decent player, actually. And he's playing this 3M pump deck with Monk, E-Barbs, Evil Knight. And this deck is the definition of no skill. Elixir pump, just pray that you starting hand your opponent so you can snowball, and, even if they have a big spell, if you're able to get a surviving pump, you automatically have a massive advantage out of the gate. Delete Elixir Pump. And you have the Monk 3M. So just Monk the bridge, 3M behind, and just pray that your opponent's deck, aka ours, doesn't have anything good to deal with the Monk. And you just, spam your bridge spam cards to bridge. And can we talk about the Heal Spirit? Remove healing from this game, man. The good thing for us is that he has no air defense. So once his 3M are out of cycle, we can take his entire tower, and the tricky thing is defending, but let's see how we manage this matchup. And I think we just go Musketeer into the Bomber. It's an okay play, I think, but then he does a very skilled Monk the bridge and instantly pops his ability. And generally how you want to deal with monks is that you want to sacrifice, not you want to, you need to sacrifice musketeers into it if they monk the back, because you need them to pop the ability on their side of the map, otherwise you literally can't defend what they put behind the monk. And okay, let me rewind there because our opponent did a very skilled play. But yeah, it's the same principle on defense as RG Monk. So yeah, let's watch that back real quick. And he does a very, very high skilled play here, as you can see. Knight E-barbs the bridge, but you know, we easily defend with our bomb tower, and he plays a heal spirit behind, but it's way too late. And yeah, jumps on our tower, but it's no big deal. And here I think he knows that he can't go for pumps. He knows our deck, so if he pumps, we're just going to balloon, and his entire tower is gone. So he doesn't want to pump, he just wants to, you know, save it and use the 3M to deal with everything. But I think we just go for a miner, and he monks the back, so that was pretty decent timing from him. But, you know, so we played a musk the back, because we have to force him to pop the ability, and then he does another very skilled play as he just 3Ms the bridge. Like, here's the thing, guys, like, the 3M aren't even fully in front of the monk. But here I was already saying, like, oh, we lost the game. He's just gonna pop the ability. What can we do? And, yep, look at that monk. Very balanced, and he just spams everything behind it. And we're in a lot of trouble here, and we're going to basically lose our tower. Maybe that wasn't the best bomb tower by us, but I'm honestly not sure what we could have done there. And we basically lose our entire tower to Skill Royale out here. But the good thing is that his 3M are out of Psycho, so we can just use Balloon to take his entire tower. So we do that once it starts double, because even if he ignored everything and went all in, those were bad E-barbs by him, but even if he went all in, we probably still could have defended because of double elixir. And here it's great to just, you know, kite everything to middle so the bomb tower can splash everything. And yeah, good skeletons by us. And we instantly miner his tower just to quickly take it, but it's looking a little bit dangerous now. And with his monk walking up, we're going to be in a lot of trouble if we can't defend this. So, as you can see, I've selected my Barbaro in hand, and a good play when you anticipate, like if you anticipate that they're about to build a big push behind their monk, it's a great idea to play a Barbaro or a miner on their side of the map, so the monk gets drawn back and their stuff goes in front of it so that their monk ability is useless. And this is also a good play against RG Monk. So here I played a Barbaro the bridge doing exactly that, but he popped his ability instantly to try to take care of our Musketeer, but it's fine since he won't have the ability on offense. And here I was really focused on defending the right side, but I underestimated the Evil Knight, actually, and holy, those troops are going to town on my tower, but we did a good snowball, plus skellies there, and we're able to save both of our towers there. So yeah, just remember that even when you're down a lot against no-skill decks, you can always make a comeback, because the players playing these no-skill decks, well, they don't play with a brain. And that was the final game, and yeah, I'll see you in the outro. Alright, we're at the end of the video now. Thank you everyone for watching until the end if you're still hearing me. And when the new balances for this season go live, I might prepare another video, but no promises. But the thing is, when the Hero Ice Golem comes out, I will definitely be doing a gameplay video on that, or maybe a video showing all the new Hero Ice Golem tech for Loon Psycho. Who knows, so stay tuned for that. And I might have said this in the intro, but if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what other video ideas you may have for me. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.